Hello Pisces, you're second. I'm doing this very randomly this time around. It's Uranus month, so it has to be unexpected. So let me just tell you what happened. Mercury retrograde, as you know, it's upon us. It started on the 30th. It's going to last all the way until February 20th. Yaks! For me, it's a freaking nightmare, and it's usually more nightmare for me in a pre-shadow than in a post-shadow. Like most people have it right during. Usually during I have a peaceful time. So I did all the monthlies and they all went whoosh. Windows updated. It forced me to update. It was not like, can you update now? Like, no, I would say, no, I'm in the middle of something. Updated, and the windows went, oh, tits up. I couldn't find them. That to me was a part of a bigger message that maybe I need to shift. I need to change how I do things, how we kind of like do this creativity. And so I did it, and I'm also audio recording this, so if you're only hearing audio, that means I had another freak out. So that's what's going to be. I already kind of like pull one card over here. Let me see what else I get. Just like the 3 guide cards for you for this month. And guys, let me tell you how this works. People come here with expectations. I'm going to get everything. Oh, it's going to be reading for me, just customized for me. Seriously, this is like winning lottery. Just think about all of these spirit guides, all of these angels. They want to communicate, and they're already having a lots of energy invested into pushing you through kind of like what you need to hear and getting you to this channel. And then, yeah, I didn't get everything, right? And just even when you're in the restaurant, even when you order your meal, you still might need a salt and pepper at the very least, right? So if you get anything, like something that really hits you, that was a message for you. And I would advise you subscribe to the channel and put a bell on it. My regular subscribers already know that. And if you are my regular subscriber, you don't have this bell on to get notifications when I send the new ones, then you know that I'm not bothering you with this. Kind of like, just do that. And another option is putting yourself on my mailing list, where you get notifications, or you get also monthly kind of stuff. So 9s and 6s this month will be very important because they are ruled by Mercury. And you have some jumpers. You have lots of jumpers. I mean, I'll do the Celtic cross, but you got quite a bit of the cards over here. So the card that I got here for you is a rainbow. Isn't that amazing? Just looking at it, it's just like, oh wow, it always gives us wow factor, right? Then you have the Hermit, which links to Mercury retrograde. Maybe you're going to be a little bit of a drone, maybe just like too much things for you to kind of like that happening with this 10 of fire. Then you have another 9 of sea. You want to be emotionally kind of like cushy. Then it's like a 3 of earth, talks about some kind of collaboration. This can more or less be the work stuff, etc., etc. Let's see, this way you can see all of it. Just put it here. You have the Star, you have Earth Queen, you have 4 of fire, right? So now I really think this almost like talks about the shift. So the first 18 days are significantly going to have one flavor. And then from the 18th to the end of the month, the 28th, this other 10 will be different, right? Because on the 18th this month, we are switching to Pisces. Also remember that we have on the 25th of this month, very soon after Pisces shift, we are going with Venus in Pisces, which means you can do whatever you want. At this stage, we are going to be out of Mercury retrograde, which also means that you can do any hairdo, anything, and anything you wear is going to look freaking fantastic on you. It's one of those things. So this all actually sounds good, that you're kind of like staying out of trouble. Maybe somebody's stirring shit, pardon my language, and you're just like running away. It almost like looks to me that you really want a peace, you want a collaboration, and there's like something that you have some kind of like hopes. Earth Queen to me always talks about a wife or a spouse of some sort that people kind of like really want to kind of like have maybe a pragmatic approach to certain kind of like situation, right? But and 4 wands is kind of like, hello, what is the next step? Where do I go with the next step? And these two kind of like cards linked. But this to me, it's definitely kind of like sparkling card, right? Because a rainbow is created with collaboration between sunlight and water in the atmosphere, right? You can do it with a water hose yourself, and I used to kind of like do that like so many times, because then these water droplets become tiny little prisms, right? And they collectively diffuse and disperse light into kind of like this basically ribbon of colors, and they have their own vibrations, they have their own energy, and so we connect them to kind of like these different vibrations. We connect them to chakras, we connect them with kind of like healing essence, like Maslow kind of like hierarchy of needs is connected to that, right? And rainbow, as you know, kind of like symbolize many different things, right? From freedom, kind of like from some kind of like unique creation, but also good luck and bridge to heaven, and also abundance, right? So this is almost like nature majestic event, right? That would be nature fireworks if you really wish, and it's all kind of like shown visually to us. So this simply means that some kind of like storm has passed for you guys, that it is time to enjoy beauty and a cycle of life. So this cycle around this February for you, it's going to be kind of like stepping out of difficulties, kind of like becoming hopeful, looking up, looking what are the bigger things. It almost looks to me that usually in January we make these kind of like new year kind of like resolutions. You're making it right now. Almost like maybe you're waiting for your birthday turn on the 18th, and that's kind of like when you're going to start writing it up, right? So guys, it's kind of like now that time to realize that without you having all the difficulties, you would not have this ability to appreciate this kind of like new situation, this new kind of like smooth sailing, right? So now what they can say, you know, you can count your blessings, right? So always look at an all bright side of life. I think that's how the song goes. So that's going to be pretty much you. It's going to be the cheer. It's going to be happy. It's going to be springy. It's going to be uplifting, right? So it's going to kind of like be that evolving process of life, some kind of like blessings. And it's kind of like almost like an opportunity to demonstrate what it means to be human. And you're going to do it in a very pragmatic way, right? So trust me, this is going to be something that you do this month, that is going to be an experience that you will truly memorize, and you will go back and say, whoa, that's where it came from, right? So you also need to bless all your difficult or painful experiences and then simply let them go, right? So full moon is going to be in Virgo, which is the opposite sign. It's on February 27th. So maybe like during the new moon, which is on February 11th, kind of like set your new intentions, set this process going on. Just roll up your sleeves, you're moving in your direction, and start brewing one day after the other. Almost like you're not going to have the countdown from you go from 10 to 0. You're going to have a countdown from 7 to 1, because 11 is going to be 7, 12, 2, and so on and so forth until the 18th, when you're going to have go. That's when you get into Pisces, and that's when things started to shift. And it's going to be really, really something that is going to give you a different perspective and different paradigm. So let's do a quick Celtic cross as well over here, so we can see a little bit more in all of that, kind of like maybe break it down, like for us, please, a little bit more information. So for Pisces, for February, Pisces, February, the love month, and so you have 4 of C, and that kind of like confirms what we have seen. It was maybe some difficulty, but maybe it was not difficulty where you have been pressed down. It could be depression. It could be just you didn't want to engage, and that's the worst part. Like that's more or less melancholy rather than deep down depression, but it's good enough to kind of like take you down. It's good enough to make you feel, well, I don't enjoy, I don't participate, what do I do with this kind of a stuff, right? So this is crossed with the Chariot. Did I not tell you? Moving forward. Look, hey, You want to go, you don't want to go. So it almost looks like you're going to buckle yourself up. You will start moving in a direction, but the moment when you do that, you're going to realize that all this tiredness and sluggishness, and almost like I'm feeling you sloping in a chair, all of a sudden you're getting straightened up, you're feeling spiritual, movable, you're going in a kind of like new direction, right? So it's going to be that empathy and focus and things that are really coming into that. You might romanticize things a little bit because that's your Pisces after all. Oh my gosh, look at this, you have a karma card. It's telling you. So this is a dude who is very, very goal oriented. Look at how much of the light is brimming out there, right? And the doggos are running where the kitty cat is with a kind of telepathy pointing them to do. And this card is a card of victory. So set your goals. You will be achieving them. You need to work on the seedings. Seedlings is really important. And how does it work? It's not like, well, I want to have $10 million. Don't be an idiot. It's nothing wrong with asking for $10 million, but don't ask for some kind of like random sum. Maybe you know what you want. This $10 million is for you to get something, house, etc., because universe, when you tell them this is what you want, then they only focus on that. But let's say if you want a house, if you want something else, sort of like that energy flows differently. So keep this in mind, right? And then you have to go through all the steps and think about your house and think what everything has to have in there. What kind of dishes, what kind of like smells, what kind of environment, what kind of spring. Kind of like allow that energy to grow so that energy can be pulled toward you. So you have a 4 of fire, which we had in a kind of like cross section as well. So you actually already are doing some actions and some steps toward kind of like your goals. You may be doing gratitude lessons. Maybe that gratitude is helpful and going in a new direction. Well, you have another 9. So the 9s means Mercury will be affecting you. You will feel you're moving forward, and then you're just realizing, how did I manage to go backwards? How did I pedal it back? But altogether, you're going to try to find situations where you feel comfortable, where you feel cozy, where you feel like kind of situation is, even if you're alone, you're not going to be lonely. You just maybe want to be setting those thoughts and those processes of some sort. Because look, you're whooshing from 9 to 1. There is a shift that's really, really happening. Whoa, it could be even some romance. Somebody's exposing their sensitive tummy. You have a C-Tom or Knight of Cups, and there's like somebody with a nice romantic smile. And that's what I said. This month, it might be a little bit of a focus on kind of like going from this nothingness to somethingness. And generally, because it was a vacuum, it looks like for you for a while, and lethargy, you didn't want to engage. Now when you engage, you might overly romanticize someone. So let's see, what is this all about? Oh my gosh, and you are romantic. Oh, I feel love is in the air over here, like it's really amazing. And this is flirtation. This is almost like Ace of Cups, where you send a smile to someone. That's actually big for you. And because up to this point, you just like, oh, I cannot do it. I don't have energy. Everybody leave me alone. And if I do that, then I'll have to do something more. But it's going to be that this person is going to have so much more energy than you that it's going to pull you out, right? So if you have a car in a ditch, and by the way, this also represents transportation, Mercury retrograde, don't fall asleep at the wheel. Make sure that you buckle up, that everything is like done properly. Very, very, very important, right? So this is your environment, the sun. Oh my gosh, and this I think represents also when we are shifting to Pisces. So this is on the 18th, and it's going to be some sort of celebration. Maybe somebody's surprising, somebody's preparing a surprise party for you. That is a possibility over here. This also, you have a very strong Leo and a very strong Cancer and Hermit. So kind of like those summer children seem to kind of be gravitating your way, and they're also going to bring a dash of summer. Whether you're in the northern hemisphere, where in Toronto we have like a really ridiculous cold right now. It's feeling like -19, and just one more week and then the worst is going to be done. But you're going to have this feeling of being warm and cozy and lovely. It's going to be awesome. And then the Empress. The Empress is, I guess if you're a mother, it's going to be this connection with the children. But it's going to be also that somebody is putting you on a pedestal. Oh my gosh, you're moving somewhere. Why, did you come to bring luck? Did you come to bring luck? Do you love Pisces? Huh? No? Maybe? Do you love me? Okay, do you love Pisces? Let's try it again. Why did you not love them the first time around? Huh? Word up, word up. Word up, you little cuddle. The older she gets, the less she comes to kind of like participate with us. But guess what? On Thursday, it is her birthday. She is 8. Zephyr is 8. So this is going to be just like that. You're going to find somebody who is going to come and hug you and flirt with you and kind of like come and express, hey, how are you? What are you doing? It's just going to be something like that. We are going through this kind of like transition of Aquarians. Aquarius is very platonic but very friendly. So kind of like pushing those type of like exchanges and relationships are not asking of you big engagement, but it's just asking you to be who you are, like authentic. Say the things, say the right things about you. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to be in any illusion. And it might really surprise you with a great kind of things. Somebody is going to be putting you on a pedestal. This is the Venus coming through. And Venus goes in Pisces on the 25th. So something between 9th and then 25th might be really evolving in a really, really strong way. Something really, really feels right. And then you have the Priest. Oh my God. Like, I mean, some of you will receive a proposal. That's for sure. That's my marriage card. So this also could be Taurus coming in your life. This also could mean you want to have things done by the book, right? Kind of like you're really showing the strong inclination toward authenticity, morality, but also kind of like what is acceptable like worldwide. Maybe this whole Aquarian transit that goes initially, especially around the 17th, just before we transition to your birthday, it's when the Saturn is kind of like squaring Uranus. This is like Saturn is like, oh, I want things this way, and Uranus, nope, I like to be upside down. So just imagine what could go wrong. So it's squaring means butting heads kind of a thing. But then it's really quickly resolved the moment when you kind of like enter Pisces. We also exiting Mercury retrograde. And in your case, you're reaching some new sense of solidity, some new sense of freedom, some new sense of belonging. So I think, my dear Pisces, all is well. I really don't know if there is like anything that I really need to clarify here, because the way you're entering this, you're really exiting in a really nice way. So you have a both feminine and masculine principle, which is kind of like a good link. So hope this helps, Pisces. Would love to kind of hear from you. As I said initially, if you got any messages, these messages were for you. You can contact me to discuss either the readings from my website, which is on cattarot.ca. I need to redo this website. This is on the list for this year. Also, there's my email and everything is down in the description. You can subscribe also down in the description. And if you can, join us for live, which is every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm reading live for every week, weekly taroscopes. And also, there are like 2 segments with the doors where you can ask your own questions and you get your own answers. Love you guys. Wish you all the best and have a wonderful, beautiful month. And happy Valentine's Day. All the best. And of course the mouse doesn't work because how Mercury retrograde would be without it. So there it is. Started to flick. Okay. Love you. Talk to you soon.